A tantalizing new batch of quests has appeared. Complete these to unlock more home space editing tools and win some prizes to decorate with. Okay, let's go wild and change the look of the entire space. Give it some atmosphere. This is where you'll find all the finely crafted, fabulous creations by Media Molecule, the creators of Dreams. What else can we change? How about some music? Sounds wonderful. Or head off and practice your skills elsewhere. This is where my imp keeps track of all the imp quests you've completed and the ones you've still to try. If you're ever short of something to do, this is where my imp keeps track of all the imp quests you've completed and the ones you've still to try. This is where my imp keeps track of all the imp quests you've completed and the ones you've still to try. If you're ever short of something to do, just come here or visit... This is where my imp keeps track of all the imp quests you've completed and the ones you've still to try. If you're ever short of something to do, just come here or visit my imp in your home space. This is where my imp keeps track of all the imp quests you've completed and the ones you've still to try. If you're ever short of something to do, just come here or visit my imp in your home space. So, you want to learn the ropes of dream shaping, but you don't know where the tools are on the shelf or how to use that intriguing gadget. Or you want to know what that strange contraption over there does. Dream crafters, assist us. Hello, architect. Hello, engineer.
Hello, Queenie.
Why are we squirrels?
Just a temporary physical form for you. I like it. It's cute.
Well, thank you. It's better than the last one.
Yeah, at least there are no tentacles this time.
Now, show this dream shaper how to unleash their creative powers.
Done! Follow me, Dreamer. Oh, it's so exciting that you're here. I have been really looking forward to this.
There's so much to show you. Gameplay, animation, art.
There's no limit to what's possible.
Welcome to the Dreams Workshop. Have a browse of the tutorials, masterclasses, and how-to videos we've got here. If you're new to dream shaping, maybe try the Start Dreaming tutorials first. They'll get you up to speed with all the basics of dream shaping.
I hope you've got your imp under control. I've got some spectacular tricks to show you, and some that are just all right. In this tutorial, you'll master the basic controls you learned in the home space. But this time, you'll have the full freedom of edit mode. Use the video player to play through the tutorial steps. Follow the steps carefully. It's not just about getting to the end, it's the journey that counts. So here we are. This is where the magic happens. Edit mode. The row of buttons you can see is the assembly menu. That's where you'll find all the tools and modes you need to construct your scenes. It can be opened and closed by pressing the square button. You won't need it just yet, so go ahead and close it with square. Somewhere in this scene I've hidden a puppet, which we'll need in later tutorials. I've left some clues to help you find it. Use the camera controls you learned in the home space to investigate the island. Here's a quick reminder. Move around the island using the left stick. Push it left and right to move sideways, and up and down to move forwards and backwards. Use the right stick to look around the scene. To move up and down in the scene, just hold L1, then push the left stick up and down. Use the left and right sticks to look around the island. If you go flying off in the wrong direction and lose your bearings, don't worry. Just hover over the mode icon in the corner of the screen. In assembly mode, the icon is a puzzle piece. Here you'll find a camera bookmark that'll take you back to where you started in the scene. Select it with X and you'll be back in familiar territory. Can you find anything here that looks like a clue? Once you've found the clue, you're ready to move on to the next step. Press the arrow button on the video to continue. Did you find that clue? It was on the back of one of those shapes. Looks a bit like a rocket. I do love a cryptic message. Why don't you look around for any rocket-related goings-on? Ah, look over there. On that island in the distance. Those shapes look a lot like the ones in the clue. Go on, fly over there and check it out. That island is quite far away though. A good opportunity to practice using the grab cam. Do you remember how to do that? To use the grab cam, just hover your imp over an object you want to go to, then hold R1. Your imp will grab onto the object. Now push up on the left stick to zoom forward. The further you push the left stick, the faster you'll move. Once you reach the island, release R1 to stop using the grab cam. Make sure you're looking right at the cylinder and the cone. The grab cam is a powerful tool for navigating scenes. In fact, it's so powerful, you could easily get lost in the scene if you accidentally grabbed the wrong object or zoomed out too far. But you can get back to where you started by using the camera bookmark. Just hover over the mode icon, then select the camera bookmark with X. If you need to rewatch any of the tutorial steps, you can. Use the skip buttons on the video player to move between tutorial steps. There's also a button to rewind 10 seconds if you miss something. Start the next step when you're ready to continue. Think back to the first clue. The cone was on top of the cylinder, right? Now, that looks pretty good, at least from this angle. Creating scenes in three-dimensional space means that you should always look at your creations from different angles. The easiest way to... Hey, look at that. Another clue. It's a molecule. I know because I put it there. Just play along with me. Why don't you look around with the right stick and see if you can find another molecule? There's one, over there by that island. You're hot on the trail. But before you go zooming over there with the grab cam, there's an even faster way to zip around scenes. Hover your imp over that orange cube in the distance. Now hold L1 and then press R1, the grab cam button. You don't have to hold it or use the stick this time. See? Told you it was quicker. L1 is a very special button. You know the way that on a computer keyboard, holding down Shift changes what some keys do? Well, in Dreams, holding down L1 changes what the other buttons do. For example, holding L1 while using the left stick makes you go up and down instead of forwards and backwards. That's not all it can do though. You'll learn lots of L1 shortcuts as you play through the tutorials. Now that you know how to move around quickly, see if you can find the next clue somewhere on this island. Remember to use the grab cam to look around the whole island. Once you've found the clue, you can move on. Did you find the next clue? It was on the back of the orange cube. What on earth could it mean? If I had eyes, I would wink at you right now. I can't see any other green trash cans around. Unless... Of course, the trash can is the icon for the delete tool. I'm so devious. That must mean you need to delete the orange cube. Here's a reminder of how to delete things in edit mode. Hover your imp over the cube. That was my final clue telling you where to go. The island right above us. I know you're an expert in moving around with the left and right stick now, but let's practice strafing up and down with the left stick. Remember, holding L1 modifies what the buttons do, like shift on a computer keyboard. Normally, the left stick moves you backwards and forwards in the direction you're facing. But if you hold L1 at the same time, the left stick will make you move up and down instead. Try getting up to the last island using this technique. Position yourself so you're looking at the orange arrow which is pointing up. Now hold L1 and push up on the left stick. We have liftoff! Keep pushing the left stick until you reach the island. When you're ready, move on to the next step. Right, here's the puppet I reserved for you. Let's call her Connie, 'cause she looks like a cone. We need to help Connie walk through the door to complete this tutorial. To do that, we're going to have to switch over to play mode. Remember, right now you're in edit mode. This is where you create and edit your scenes. In play mode, you can experience the scene just like a player would if they found it in the Dreamiverse. You can't make any changes in play mode, but you can take control of characters and try out what you've made. Switch over to play mode now. Just press the options button on your controller. Hover over the controller icon with your imp, then press X to select it. To control a puppet in a scene, you first need to possess it with R2. I hope you've got your imp under control. I've got some spectacular tricks to show. If the two minimize the video. Now you've got the hang of moving things around in edit mode, it's time to master manipulating objects. Just as well, because Connie's friend Cuthbert fell asleep in the Dreamiverse and got stranded. Yes, he's a cube with legs. Connie didn't choose her friends. I did. So, we need to fix these platforms if she's going to reach the flag and get to Cuthbert. Before we start, you can switch to play mode to see how a player would experience this scene. You'll always need to test things out in play mode while dream shaping, so it's a good habit to get into. Press the Options button, then select Play Mode with X. Its icon looks like a controller. Once you're in play mode, take control of Connie with R2, and we'll see how far she can go. Start by jumping over to the first platform. Oh dear! Looks like it's too far for Connie. Now the only thing separating Connie from... Hurrah! Connie and Cuthbert have been reunited. But now they need to find a way out before Cuthbert falls asleep again. So let's learn how to find a door in the Dreamiverse. Go to the Assembly menu, which is the row of buttons at the top of the screen. The Assembly menu disappears when you're busy working on a scene, to make sure it doesn't get in the way. So if you can't see it, just press square to open it. Here you'll find all the assembly tools, modes, and gadgets. Now you know how to grab, rotate, and scale objects. It's time I showed you how to clone things. Cuthbert has managed to get himself stuck again. Luckily, I've set up this scene so that we can use the clone tool to rescue him. With this tool, you can make exact copies of anything in the scene. This makes it one of the most useful tools in a Dreamshaper's toolbox. You'll also get a chance to practice with all the other tools that you've learned so far. If we get Connie off this platform, maybe she'll help us out. Let's use the clone tool on this one small block to create a bridge. Remember how we used the L1 button to modify how the grab cam and the left stick work? Well, it can also change how the grab button works. Hover over the floating block with your imp and hold L1. Now grab the block with R2, and remember that if you press it gently, you can move it more slowly. Now you have enough. Getting Connie to that third... Okay, Connie, we've all... Let's get back to the staircase. It's looking pretty good, but I have one more thing to show you before you move on. Let's get rid of all the clones we've made by pressing the left directional button a few times. You'll notice all the repeated clones are undone together. Now hover over the first block, hold L1, then grab it to create a new clone. Remember to release L1 once you've made the clone, otherwise the next bit won't work. This time, move the block where you want the last step of the staircase to be. There, right in front of the door. Don't let go of R2 yet, though. Instead, press the left directional button and... Look at that. You've created a sequence of clones between your imp and the original block. You can keep pressing left to create more steps or right to remove them. Once you're happy with your staircase, let go of R2 to place it in the scene. Let's get back to the staircase. It's looking pretty good, but I have one more thing to show you before you move on. Welcome to part 4 of our Start Dreaming tutorials. I see Cuthbert has managed to get himself in a pickle again. Connie, how do you put up with him? What a spanner. But with Connie's help, we can rescue him. This time around, I'll show you how to select and group your creations and how to scope in and out of groups. Luckily, someone left behind a block for us to use. Remember how to repeat clone blocks to create a bridge? Well, let's do that again. Move your view side on to the block and the gap. Hold L1, then grab the block with R2. Move it with the motion. Now, you probably noticed that all the blocks, the original as well as its clones, were selected automatically after cloning. You can tell when things are selected because they have an animated dashed outline. But after we switched between play and edit modes, everything was deselected. So let's select them again. All you have to do is hover your imp over one of the blocks and press X. There's the outline again. Now do the same to the rest until the whole bridge is selected. Can you see how each block has its own outline, with a double line where they meet? That's because they're still individual elements. You can deselect them one at a time with X, but you know, this bridge would be really useful to help Connie cross to the next platform. Use X to select all the blocks again. If we're going to use this bridge a lot, we can make it into a group. That way, it will behave like a single element and you won't have to keep selecting all the blocks. Have you noticed the menu at the side of the screen? It appears when you have one or more objects selected. That's the context menu. The options it gives you will depend on the situation you're in. In this case, all the buttons relate to selected objects. Look for the plus sign. That's the icon for the group button. Our bridge needs a bit of work if it's going to reach the next platform. This is the perfect opportunity to learn a new technique, scoping in. Scoping in means you can jump into a group and edit the contents individually without having to ungroup it first. And since you can only edit things inside the group, you don't have to worry about messing up anything outside it. Let's give it a try now. Select the bridge with X if it isn't already selected. Then find the Scope In button near the bottom of the context menu. Notice that it's showing you a shortcut for it.
This is where my imp keeps track of all the imp quests you've completed and the ones you've still to try. If you're ever short of something to do, just come here or visit my imp in your home space. This...
Blade Gunner.
Everyone loves taking photos. Take a picture of that beautiful vista you've made. Or snap that odd creation you've just found, just to make sure your eyes aren't deceiving you.